All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are going to explore a really powerful idea, one that kind of pushes back on something we've always been told is a virtue, being good. We're going to talk about the strategic cost of that goodness and why, according to the material we're looking at, it might just be your biggest weakness.
So let me just ask you, straight up, is your kindness a weakness? I know. It's a pretty jarring question, right? I mean, we're all raised to believe kindness is a strength, always. But what if that's not the whole story? What if, in some situations, that instinct to just be good is actually what's holding you back, or worse, putting you in a tough spot?
You know, the source material for this explainer puts it, well, pretty bluntly with this metaphor. It says that blind, unconditional kindness makes you a sheep in a world of wolves. Wow. That one sentence, that single idea, is really what frames our entire discussion. It's not about ditching your kindness, but about really understanding the world you're moving through.
Okay, so first up, let's unpack the trap of goodness. We're going to look at exactly how this thing we all praise can actually become a huge personal vulnerability. Think about it. Ever since we were kids, the message from our parents, our teachers, from basically everyone is crystal clear. Be good. Be helpful, be selfless, don't cause trouble. It's held up as the gold standard of character, the absolute peak of what we should be. But let's push back on that for a second. What is the real shocking cost of that goodness when you just apply it everywhere, without any thought or any boundaries? The argument here is that there are very real, very tangible consequences to just being indiscriminately good. And this leads us right into this idea of a world of wolves. Now, hold on. This isn't about being cynical or thinking everyone is out to get you. It's more about being realistic, about understanding the competitive dynamics that are, let's face it, at play in so many of our interactions.
So here's the absolute crucial point. In a competitive environment, being unconditionally kind can be read the wrong way. Instead of it signaling that you have moral strength, it can actually signal vulnerability. It can basically send a message to other people that your boundaries are flexible and your resources are up for grabs.
And this is where it gets really, really real. Let's break down what this cost actually looks like in your life. When you're the sheep, you just become an easy target for people to manipulate. Then there's your resources, your time, your energy, your money. They get completely drained by everyone else's needs. And what happens to your goals? Yep, they get pushed to the side to make room for others. And all of this leaves you wide open to exploitation.
So if that's the problem, what on earth is the solution? Well, it all comes down to this really critical shift in your mindset, moving from being a servant to becoming a strategic leader.
And I want to be perfectly 100% clear on this. This is not about becoming some ruthless, selfish wolf. The goal is not to throw your morals out the window. It's all about a deep shift in your mindset, your internal operating system. It's about being smart with your goodness.
And this chart just lays out the difference so perfectly. On one side, you've got the servant mindset, right? Always looking for approval from others, constantly reacting to their demands, avoiding conflict like the plague, and just saying yes on autopilot. But then, look at the other side. The strategic leader acts on their own internal priorities. They set clear, firm boundaries. They don't run from conflict, they manage it with purpose. And when they say no, it's just as intentional as their yes.
Okay, so finally, let's get to the actionable part, the real solution here. Choosing strategic goodness. It's time to stop being blindly good and start being intentionally good. So what exactly is strategic goodness? Here's the definition we're working with. It is the intentional application of your kindness, energy, and resources in alignment with your own goals and boundaries. That word, intentional, that's the magic word. It means you are in the driver's seat. You decide where your goodness goes and why.
If you boiled this entire philosophy down, it really comes to this one simple, incredibly powerful idea. It's all about learning how to be good to other people without being bad to yourself. It's that balance where your generosity doesn't end up being your own downfall.
And this, right here, this is the core mantra from the source material. It's a declaration. Actually saying this to yourself, I choose strategic goodness. That's the first step. It's how you shift from being that reactive servant to a proactive leader of your own life. It's a promise to value yourself just as much as you value everyone else.
So I'm going to leave you with this one last question to really chew on. As you go about your day, your week, just ask yourself this. Who in your world, at your job, in your family, with your friends, who needs to stop seeing the sheep and start seeing the strategic leader in you? Thinking about that, well, that might just change everything.